Does that change the line for you of what you feel you can say or not say?
Honestly speaking,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Really?
I don't know. Like, we're all figuring this out, I think, at the same time together. It's a huge collective moment. But as a comedian, I mean, it'd be a very, very difficult thing not to talk about. As a human, it's a very difficult thing not to feel, to be indifferent to it. Everywhere you look in America, everyone's pushing the line. One way or another, you know, we got this president because some people say we got to push the line, and we have this movement because people are like we got to push the line, and we got another movement because people say this is a really busy time. I don't know what the line is. But there's a lot of change.
I'm watching TV and Tosh is making me laugh, so I wrote a tweet saying your show makes me laugh. And then I put it down, and then like 2 days later I come home and I read these like bloggers and like Hollywood Reporter, you know, Louis C.K. defends Daniel Tosh amid rape joke controversy. I had no idea. He got in trouble for making some jokes about rape, and I didn't know about it. And so I'm a defender of rape. That's what everybody says now. And I've read all this stuff like, shame on you, Louis C.K., and I'll never watch your show. You're a rape apologist. I've been called a rape apologist because I said hi to a guy. Because I said, hey, nice show to a guy who everybody was mad at.
A regular theme for Chappelle now, that Americans today are overly sensitive about what can and cannot be said in public. I asked if he felt that way.
Yes and no. Sometimes I think that we're painfully desensitized because we're bombarded by so much information. And then other times I see people, it's a lot to be mad at, especially when you know so much. So I think it's a challenging time. And I think that in a time like that, I, for one, find solace in the arts. I don't have to agree with all the art I consume, but it helps me understand how I actually feel about it.
Are you surprised, though, by the criticism that's come your way?
No, and I don't mind that people get upset. Some of this criticism, like, is helpful. Like, I get educated by it. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but I learn about a lot of things, you know, just from my critics.
He didn't do anything that you can call the police for. I dare to try. Call the police on him. Hello, police? Yes, I am on the other line with comedian Louis C.K., and I think that he is masturbating while I'm on the phone. You know what the police are gonna say in Atlanta? Well, what are you guys talking about?
But here's the thing, this is like a fight between comedians and feminists, which are natural enemies, the biggest easily, because stereotypically speaking, feminists can't take a joke, and stereotypically speaking, and comedians, and on the other side,
for you to send you back to Vermont right after the show.
On the other side, comedians can't take criticism. Comedians are big pussies.
Yeah.
And they can't, so to one side you say, if you don't like the jokes, stay out of the comedy clubs. To the other side you say, if you don't like the criticism, stop Googling yourself every 10 seconds. Just nobody's making you read it. It's positive. To me, all dialogue is positive. Now, a lot of people don't feel that way. For me, any joke about anything bad is great. That's how I feel. Any joke about rape, you know, Holocaust, the Mets, whatever. Yeah, any joke about something bad is a positive
You have now crossed the line, mister.
I say a lot of mean things, but you guys gotta remember, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because it's funny. And everything's funny till it happens to you.
If bad things happen to someone else, that's not necessarily funny.
Look at it this way. I grew up in the crack epidemic. I tell jokes about it. I grew up in the crack epidemic, and now there's an opioid epidemic. Are they treating the opioid epidemic the way that they treated the crack epidemic? No, this is a national health emergency. When we were coming up, we were policed by the National Guard, addicts were criminals. Now they understand addicts are sick people. And maybe it's because the demographic of the opioid epidemic is not the same demographic of the crack epidemic.
Racially. I mean,
Right.
you're talking about race.
Right, so now that your community is getting destroyed, it's a whole nother ball game. And then it's a huge window of empathy. Oh my God, we can see each other. We both went through similar pain. But I'm just saying, everything's funny that happens to you is more about empathy. That you there but for the grace of God.
But now, I've read some blogs during this whole thing that have made me enlightened to things I didn't know. This woman said how rape is something that polices women's lives, that they have a narrow corridor. They can't go out late, they can't go to certain neighborhoods, they can't dress a certain way, because they might get, now that's part of me now that it wasn't before, and I can still enjoy a good rape joke, so I have both of them. But here's the last thing.
I don't like the way that you evolve as a person.
No, it's not fair. Well,
I don't like the way that you've come up with a way to grow as an individual.
No, it's not fair. It's not
Be the person that I knew 20 years ago.
I will. But here's the last thing I want to say about it. This is also about men and women, because a lot of people are trading blogs and things about this on the with each other. Couples are fighting about Daniel Tosh and rape jokes.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've been reading in blogs. But they're both making a classic gender mistake, because the women are saying, here's how I feel about this, but they're also saying my feelings should be everyone's primary concern. Now, the men are making this mistake. They're saying your feelings don't matter, your feelings are wrong, and your feelings are stupid. If you've ever lived with a woman, you can't step in worse than that, than to tell a woman that her feelings don't matter. So to the men I say, listen to what the women are saying about this. To the women I say, now that we heard you, shut the up for a minute. And let's all get back together and kill the Jews. That's all I have to say about it.